Hey everybody, I have something a little different for you folks today on the channel. We are going to be opening the paperback proof for my new novel, 309, which, as many of you know, is currently available as a pre-order on Amazon for the Kindle edition e-book. So this is a moment that is always kind of exciting when you create something and you get to first witness it actually exist in reality, instead of just being like something sort of amorphous or vague that exists electronically. The holding it in your hand for the first time and feeling it as an actual thing is kind of a neat moment. And even though this isn't the finished product, right, this is the proof that I'm going to be using to check and make sure that everything's the way that it should be for the version that you folks are all hopefully going to buy. uh, it's still a cool moment, and I wanted to try to at least somewhat capture that for you guys. So what I'm going to do here is open this thing up, not so carefully, and we're going to pull it out, and you guys are going to get to see it as I see it for the first time. So yeah, there's that. Get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. This has served its purpose. All right, so for those of you who aren't familiar with the concept of a proof, basically the idea is that you can work with your printer, whoever is going to do your paperback edition of your book, and have them send you a proof of what it's actually going to look like. So you can see it in person, hold it in your hand, make sure that it feels right, that it's the right size, that everything is, as it should be, on the front cover, the back cover, the spine, all of that sort of thing. And just make sure that you're getting the product that you want and that you want your readers to have. So this is a really cool option to have available to me, because when I did my first novel last year, The Big Men, which I actually used the same printing service for, getting a proof was actually not an option at the time. So this is kind of a first for me, getting the chance to actually see the printed edition ahead of time. And I gotta say, it's kind of cool. It's neat to actually see this as a done, finished thing. And of course, like I said, this is a proof, and so it's entirely possible that there may be errors or issues in it, and that's kind of the point, right? Is to look at this and see if there are any problems with it. Now, obviously, I'm not going to show you the inside of the book too much because, well, spoilers and whatnot. But I am going to open up the cover and at least let you see a little bit of the inside, so you can kind of see the things that you would check, right? So one of the things you would want to check for are these gutter spacings to make sure that when you open the book, there's a sufficient amount of space here to accommodate whatever text you have on the inside. Because obviously that's a real problem if you're reading the book and say you get to the middle, or you get to some point in the book and there's not enough space on this inner gutter to make the layout make sense. And actually looking at this, just kind of eyeballing it in these first couple of pages, which I'm not too worried about you guys seeing because this stuff is all going to be in the previews for the book when it goes on sale, so you're not really seeing anything you won't be able to see before buying the book anyway. But obviously we want to make sure that these gutters and everything are the way that they should be. And again, just kind of eyeballing it, I think maybe these are a little too shallow. Like I may tweak this slightly so that there's a little less on the outside and a little more on the inside. But I'm also kind of looking at it at an angle right now for the sake of the camera, so you guys may see it a little differently than I'm seeing it. But just so you know, those are the kind of things you factor into your thinking, in doing something like this. The whole point of getting the proof is to be able to assess all of this stuff and make sure that it's the way that it should be. And actually, let me take a quick look at this back cover real quick, just to see. Yeah, so actually, is a good example, right? Like I ordered this proof about a week ago, and right after I ordered it, I noticed that there was actually a typo on the text of the back cover. So bonus points to anybody who can actually spot the typo, because it is there. You can see it. It's a little bit subtle. It's a little bit of a tricky one. It's something that a lot of people would probably miss because it's a word that's commonly misspelled. And actually, it's some spell checks and whatnot, they actually do not catch it. So I actually had to read it several times myself before I caught it and was able to correct it. But there is one there. If you look long enough, you'll probably see it. But yeah, that's just the kind of thing that you watch out for. Or the whole purpose of doing something like this is to make sure that you catch stuff like that. So, but I think that's pretty much going to do it for me for this video. Obviously, I've got a ton of work to do because I've got to get through this thing in the next couple of days and settle on it and get the final version submitted so that I can actually make the paperback available for sale around the middle of this upcoming week, and make it so that it's available around the same time the pre-orders for the ebook go live. So I'm going to be very busy, but I wanted to share this with you folks and give you a chance to see something like this in case you've ever been curious about what the process of getting a book ready for publication is actually like, especially if you're self-publishing, as I am in this case. So hopefully you folks have enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. If you'd like to see more videos from me in the future, be sure to hit subscribe, and I will see you next time.